it's always important to have an outside perspective on matters affecting what we do. Father Phil, thank you for your hard work, and thank you for this invitation again to come and speak. Yvonne Ludwig and TIPNG, I'd like to acknowledge their work on the recent media development policy, or the media control policy, as I'd like to call it. They've been at the forefront of organizing everyone together to speak about this issue. It's a potential risk. We see it as a potential risk to all of us in the media. That's why we've been very resistant to it. We've tried to convey to government as much as possible to rethink this move. We might make a decision today and then it will affect generations of the future. That's our main concern. Dr. Aine, Mr. Matbo, thank you very much for your dedication to teaching. Despite the challenges, despite the criticisms, you've been able to hold out this long. It's an incredible feat. And to the students who have chosen to study journalism, it's a difficult path. It's not an easy path. Yesterday I was talking to a class and I said, don't be attracted by the 5 minutes of glamour on television. It's not real. The hard work is behind that glamour. And that's the part that you should be attracted to. You should take stock of that reality if you want to do journalism. It's become an increasingly dangerous profession. First of all, I'd like to pay a few respects to acknowledge the work of a few people. And one of the first people I'd like to acknowledge is a West Papuan journalist, a friend of mine, Victor Mambo. Victor has been at the forefront of reporting on issues in West Papua. And Victor has been also the target of personal attacks on his family. His house has been, a bomb has been detonated outside his house. He's been a victim of threats, both physically and on social media. But he's still doing the job. He's received a lot of international attention. He doesn't really like the attention. But it's difficult to avoid the attention if you're doing something that is of value to society. I would also like to acknowledge a few members of my former team, and I keep telling other people who ask me about my team. And I tell them very jokingly that the smallest people on my team are the most vocal and the most troublesome. If you're vocal and troublesome, you should go to journalism. One of them is Martha Lewis. Over there. She was sacked along with 24 other staff from MTV. The other person that I'd like to acknowledge is Julie Matuigoa. She's received at least 3 or 4 court orders to stop her from speaking out. She's also been threatened both physically and online and by text messages. So I'd like to acknowledge all those people. The other thing that I'd like to acknowledge is the real heroes that give value to the media. And those are the people in rural areas who are willing to speak out against the injustices that they have to endure on a daily basis. I'd like to acknowledge the women who are at the forefront of speaking out about health and education issues that affect them. The pregnant women who come on TV and talk about the difficulties that they face, having to walk several kilometers with a child in their bellies, and some have died because of that. I'd like to acknowledge also the men who have, over the years, come out and spoken out about these issues that affect them. HGO and Joseph Stell, Mr. Patrick Andrei, over the last 5 years, he's been an active campaigner for his people. He's been speaking out about roads, he's spoken out about the difficulties that these people have had because of the lack of medicines, the ineffectiveness and the corruption in the health department, and its inability to deliver medicines to his people. Those are the real heroes. The journalists are just messengers. Those are the real heroes who are willing to speak out and are willing to fight the good fight. Without them, without people to interview, without people to talk to, without people to speak, the media is ineffective. That's on one end of the spectrum. On the other end, if the media has done its job and has done everything that it is supposed to do, and if the people who receive the information do not act on it, then we fail as a country. The media can do its job, but if the people don't take the information that is given to them, the education that is given to them, and act on it, meaning exercising your rights at the polls, speaking out when it's needed, then the media is really ineffective in a democracy. The media can scream all at once, but if the people don't exercise that right of freedom of expression and that right to vote, then the media itself is ineffective and the democracy becomes ineffective as a system. So, to the students, it's important to acknowledge that, you know, it's a crucial time that we are in. In the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of attacks on the media, especially in public media. It's come through many, many forms. It's come through attacks on journalists, through supporters of political offices. It's come through threats, both physically, on social media, through legal threats meant to suppress journalism, meant to suppress the freedom of expression. So all of that put together has made it a difficult time for the media in Papua New Guinea. People like myself, Dr. Ayman, Mr. Manpo, and a few others, Neville Choi, all those in the industry now will leave at some point. I am in somewhere in the middle. I've exited from mainstream media, but I keep getting called to speak at events like this, to participate in media development, to participate in training. But at some point I would say, you know, I have to take a break. At some point I have to make my exit from this earth. And I'll be looking forward to it. But it leaves a void in the industry, and it needs young people to stand up and take the baton and start running full speed. Because if you don't, country will never go right. There's a need for independent journalism in Papua New Guinea, separate from the large organizations that we have. If you complain about mainstream media, you need to start an independent outlet. We complain about Facebook, but Facebook is an important tool for Papua New Guinea. It's where people can express themselves freely without a gatekeeper. But you have to exercise a lot of responsibility when you're communicating on Facebook. We've had instances where we've had to deal with misinformation, disinformation, and there's no end to it. I don't see any end to it in the near future. The way to deal with it is to create a movement of storytellers on Facebook, create a movement of storytellers online. Each one of you is a knowledge keeper, meaning that the sum of your entire life is contained in experiences that need to be told. In your family, there are two important storytellers, your mother and your father. You should go and talk to them about their experiences. Record their stories. You should talk to your dad about his stories. Talk to your uncles and your aunties. Talk to your brothers and sisters. Talk to them. Each person is a story, is a knowledge keeper. If we all create a movement of storytelling, positive storytelling, it will change the algorithm on social media. Instead of the negativity that we see about Papua New Guinea on social media, on mainstream media, you will gradually create a different outlook. You will gradually influence a generation. My influence will come to an end. And I'm asking everyone in this room, people who are younger than me, to get together and create that movement, create positivity. Forget about the negative. Acknowledge it, don't give it power. Give power to positivity. Social media, while we complain about it, is a useful tool for social accountability. Yvonne and the Mob organized a meeting in Port Moresby where we talked about all those things, including social accountability. And how can you be involved with, dealing with things like human rights abuses and the ills of society, the injustices that our people face, the injustices that the women and children face, the difficulties that men face and don't talk about? How can you deal with it? Everyone has a smartphone, everyone has a platform, everyone can create an audience for themselves. And you can use that audience to great effect. If you live in a rural location, if your parents live in a rural location and they sold coffee to pay for your school fees, that story should be documented. The difficulties that they face carrying a coffee bag to a market just to put a few bags on a truck to send you off to school, that story should be documented. You should tell those stories in your own words so that people are able to hear that story, so that it can influence a positive outcome at the polls. The involvement of young people in elections needs to be heard greater than it is now. And I keep saying that young people complain about issues, but their impact at the polls is very minimal. It's the older people who vote. And if young people are involved, they're either standing with guns or intimidating somebody else to vote for an older person. So thank you very much for this opportunity.